Okay everyone, now I want to actually create some text view objects. Okay, so I just paste in some lines of code here and then I'll explain to you what's going on here. Okay, so as you can see here, these are actually the lines of code that I actually pasted here. And as you can see here, first of all, we created a text view object. Okay, and the name of this text view object is txt original values of array, and here we are referring to this id. Okay, txt original values of array. Again, we created another text view object, txt values of modified array, and here we are referring to this id, txt values of modified array. And here again, we created another text view object, txt modified array element, and here we refer to this id, txt modified array element. Okay, and again, we created another text view object, txt original array element, and here we referred to this txt original array element, and again we created another text view object, txt array element value after modification, and here we referred to this id, txt array element value after modification. Okay, now I want to actually create an array of string values. Okay, so I just paste in this array here. So as you can see here, first of all, I specified the data type of my array, and then I specified that I want to actually creating an array by actually putting these brackets here, and then I actually gave a name to my array, string array. And as you can see here, these are the values of my array here. Okay, a b c d e f g h I j k l m n o p q r s t u v w x y z. Okay, and then notice that I actually put in a new line character after each value, as you can see inside the double quotes here, so that the user can see the values better. Okay, so now I want to actually create a string object. Okay, so here, as you can see, this is my string object, and the data type of my object is of type string, as you can see here, and the name of my object is total original values. Okay, here I actually assigned an empty value to this object here. Okay, to this variable. And now I want to actually create an enhanced for loop in order to iterate over these values that are actually inside this string array here, as you can see. So here I just paste in this enhanced for loop here, and here first of all, inside the parentheses of this enhanced for loop, I created a string variable. As you can see, the type of my variable is string, and the name of my variable is value. Okay, and here I want to actually iterate over the values that are actually inside of this string array here, as you can see, and then I want to actually do something with those values. So as you can see here, I am actually iterating over the values that are actually inside of this array, string array, and then here it's going to actually assign every one of each values. For example, the value that is inside of this index 0 of this array to this value variable here, to this object value. And then here inside of this for loop here, we want to actually, first of all, we referred to this total original values object, to this variable. Okay, plus equal, this line of code is actually the same as this line of code that I am about to write. Okay, total original values. Okay, assignment operator, total original values plus value. Okay, and here in this way, as you can see, it's going to actually assign the value, as you can see, for example, this value that is actually inside of this double quotes, and then assign that value to this total original values variable here that we actually created in line 29. So after each execution of this for loop, after each execution of this enhanced for loop, okay, it's going to actually assign the value that is for the specific index of this array to this total original values object that we actually created in line 29. Okay, so now we can actually output the value of these total original values to the screen. So I can just type in txt original values of array dot set text total original values. So now let's actually run our project and see what happens. So as you can see here, now we can see these values on this screen here. Okay, A, B, C, D through Z. Okay, and as you can see here, these are the original values of the array. Okay, so now let's actually go back inside this main activity.java file here, and after this line of code here, Now let's actually add some more lines of code here. So here I want to actually modify the array, okay? We want to modify the values that are actually inside of this array. So first of all, let's actually create a method, okay? So just type in here public. As you can see here, the access modifier of our method is public void. And again, as you can see, the return type of our method is void. So this method is going to return nothing. And the name of our method is let's modify the array. Okay. So here I want to actually specify that this method is going to accept an argument. Okay. This method is going to accept an argument of type string. Actually, it is actually an array. Okay. An array of string values. And the name of this array is, for example, array. Okay, and then we can actually open and close this method by using these curly braces, and inside of this method we can actually put our own implementations. So as you can see here, now inside of this method I want to actually put a for loop. Okay, so this is my for loop here, and here, as you can see inside of the parentheses of this for loop, first of all I created a variable of type integer, and the name of this variable is index. And then I actually assigned the value 0 to this variable, okay? And here I actually specify the condition, okay, which determines how many times this loop is going to be executed. First of all, we refer to the name of this variable index, okay, less than array.length. So this loop is going to be executed until the value of this index variable is less than the value of the length of this array, okay? And here, as you can see, we specified that after each execution of this for loop, the value of this index variable is going to be incremented by 1. Okay. So here, as you can see inside of this for loop in line 53. So first of all, I referred to the name of this argument array. Okay. Sub index. So inside the brackets, I referred to the name of this index variable that, as you can see here, assignment operator. And inside the double quotes, I just put in a $sign, okay, plus, so here I want to concatenate this value, this string value, with another value, okay, plus array subindex, okay. So it's gonna actually concatenate this value that is inside of these double quotes with another value that would be inside of the specific index of this array, okay. So now here, let's actually refer to the name of this method here. Let's modify the array. So as you know, this method is gonna actually accept one argument of type string array. So we need to actually give an array of type string to this method, okay? So here we have an array of type string called string array. So we can just put it here, string array. And now let's actually create a string variable, okay, a string object. So I just need to put it here. So as you can see here, the data type of my variable is string. The name of my variable is total modified values, assignment operator, and then I assigned an empty value to this variable, okay, in order to just instantiate this object, okay. So now let's actually create an enhanced for loop here, okay. And again, I can just create a string variable, and the name of this variable is value, okay, colon. And here I can actually iterate over the values that are actually inside of the string array here, okay? And then I can actually open and close this for loop by using these curly braces. So inside of this for loop, I can just refer to the name of this variable, total modified values, okay, plus equal value, okay? So this line of code is the same as this line of code that I am going to actually write here. Total modified values, assignment operator, total modified values plus value, okay. And then I need to put in a semicolon at the end of my statement. And now I want to output the value that is inside of these total modified values is to the screen, okay. So I can just type in txt values of modified array dot set text. And then I need to refer to the name of this object, total modified values. And now let's actually run our project and see what happens. So as you can see here, now our application is actually running on this emulator. and these are the original values of the array, okay, as you can see here. So now I can actually scroll down here, and here we can see the values of the array after modification. So here we can see the $sign before these values here, okay. So hopefully that makes sense, and I think that's enough for this tutorial, and we're gonna actually continue building this application in the next tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.